Tito.
What up, me brozo?
What's going on?
The Greek in the flesh. Yep.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just, pampering you.
Because I got to learn how to not interrupt people.
Fuck yeah,
So I'm
what?
learning. Before we start anything off, I have to make a public apology
Okay.
to my best friend,
Oh, snap.
George Kappa, which I mentioned in the last episode.
Wow. Shout out.
So he got a little upset because I called Faulty my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Now, George is my best friend as well. For everyone that I want to clarify this point.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I've known George since 7th grade. We went to school together.
Nice.
So George and Faulty are my best friends. So George, I'm sorry.
Wow, that's
You
beautiful.
caught me there.
That's beautiful.
I mean it from the heart. I really do.
Nice.
I love you. And
That being said, though, I thought usually in life there is only one best friend, so it can only.
I'm not. It
can only be one.
No.
One can be chosen. I'm just saying. I don't want to be
Don't make me pick and choose between. Listen,
I'm just saying.
I have my brother, also my best friend, Laza.
Shout out to Lazos.
Fatih and George are my best friends, and Laza. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Anyway, how'd you do, me, bro?
Not good.
Not good, huh?
Not good.
You want to tell the audience the news that just broke? To start on a New Yorkie note.
Governor Andrew Cuomo
Cuomo.
just implemented again the restrictions on the bars and restaurants. They have to close after 10 p.m. because everyone knows you can't get coronavirus after 10 o'clock.
That's
You can't get coronavirus.
That's
during a
commonly
certain
understood.
time. Commonly understood. Yeah.
Yep,
And by the way,
yep.
it's sarcasm for everyone who doesn't know me.
Of course.
It's just it's really upsetting. It really is upsetting because he's like slowly killing this industry that makes New York. He makes it really the hospitality industry that we both worked in.
Yep.
I still work in, but it's
I benefited from it indirectly.
But it's really, really aggravating because, once you start getting up there, and everyone's being safe. We're doing temperature checks.
Mm-hmm.
We all have our face masks, which I got to yell at people for wearing.
And you should do.
Which you should do, yeah. And if you're going to an establishment, you should wear your face mask. If you don't want to wear it, then don't go there. That's your right, whatever.
Yep.
We're doing temperature checks. Everyone's 6 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
No bar service. 25%. And now we have to close at 10.
Oh.
We have to close at 10.
And what was before?
At midnight. But you're losing 2 hours of business.
Of course, especially in a bar, because your establishment is a bar.
It's a bar.
It's not even a restaurant.
It's not even a restaurant. It's a bar where people still want to go out, obviously. So I'm a little ticked off today. I'm a little tweaked with this news.
Yeah, man, it's not good. It's not
good, and we don't know, and I don't know how that's gonna be, and
or how long.
And New York is the third lowest in transmission rate of the coronavirus.
What?
It's Rhode Island, Maine, and New York City.
Damn. And they still
I'm sorry, Vermont, Maine, and New York City.
Okay, but wow, and they are still implementing these heavy restrictions. But it's whatever, man. I don't know. All I can say is to go roll with the punches, Yep. Yeah. That's what we do. That's how we do it, bro. We're survivors.
I apologize to you in advance. I'm a little down today.
Don't worry, bro.
Hopefully by the next time we record our next episode, that won't be the case.
Don't you worry, my brother. I got you, okay?
Okay.
Tito's over here. Your favorite Tito's over here.
Tito
all right,
me,
I want to
Tito
cheer you up. I got some stories for you, because I take a special like whenever I find authentic, genuine people.
That's true.
I humbly pride myself of engaging in conversation with all those sort of weirdos and people that I feel they have a story to tell.
Oh yeah.
That gets me in trouble sometimes, but it gives me awesome stories to tell my friends later on.
More trouble than I've seen. Yeah, I've seen him in the past.
You've seen some of those backfiring, maybe?
I've seen you. Yeah, I've seen you in action. Yeah, I've seen you in action.
I'm gonna blush over here, but the ones we can tell, the ones we can tell, I really wanted to bring this to the pod. It just happened.
Yeah.
It just happened yesterday, and
he was really excited about this. Actually,
I called you right away.
Called me.
I called him.
And when someone calls you, it's like good news, right? It's like I gotta tell you right now.
I'm an impulsive fella, so I said, okay, I have to tell the Greek this shit because it's too good to actually be invented. All right. So yesterday by midday, I received a knock on my door, and this guy, whose name is Rick, comes into my apartment. He's exterminator, right? Dial a bug. Shout out.
I don't want to put you I'm interrupting. I'm sorry.
No, go.
But did you call him, or is it like one of the monthly checkups for the building?
Right. No, it's exactly. That's what it is. They do on my building. I live in a pre-war building. It's pretty old and shitty.
Yeah.
So there are roaches. As a consequence. Well, I mean, it's New York City. There's always roaches and rats.
It's good to hear you don't have an internal problem.
Right. No, exactly. Yeah. Thanks for specifying that because I could have some potential visits looking at the podcast and we don't want or listen to it, so we don't like them. Wow. I'm an open person. I like to host people. Do I not?
Yeah.
There you go.
Continue. Rick comes by.
Yeah. So Rick comes for his monthly checkup. This is the second time. I didn't remember him from the first time, but he comes, he does his shit. They bring this little mini silicone gun that has a little like thick goo that they put on corners.
Yeah, and they have like little spray. They
don't do a spray. They only do in corners, inside cabinet doors and stuff. They do this gooey thing with, it's like a large syringe.
Yeah.
He does this in like 30 seconds. He's like, oh man, my brother was blah blah blah, and he starts talking to me. I'm like, okay, hey, what up? He's like, so how have you been? Blah blah. Your motorcycle, right? So he started kind of like opening conversation to me, and I'm like, oh man, I'm all good, blah blah blah. And I don't know how exactly, because I'm wrapped up in him not stopping talking, right? So he's not stopping at all, and he's like, oh man, because this job, if you're exterminator, you see some shit, and I'm like, tell me more,
please.
So
indulge me with your
so just standing by my door, he opens up like we were best friends. Okay, so we're like, oh man. So for example, these Jewish people, like up there in the hill, because here in Washington Heights, there are like, you have Hispanics, Dominicans, Mexicans, but then you have a very Jewish area. There are actually a couple, like 3-4 pockets within the neighborhood that are. It's like another freaking country all of a sudden, like Yeshiva University up there. It's like everything's nicer, mysteriously. Like the road, it's better. The asphalt is better.
Quality.
Yeah. The pavement, it's better. Anyway, probably I pay for it. In all honesty, the Yeshiva University, I think it's a private institution heavily funded by some Jewish wealthy people. So. What can you do against it? They have their own security and their own police that have like the seal of Yeshiva University.
Money talks, man.
He sure does. Anyway, so he's telling me, this guy had bed bugs and he didn't want me to come in. I'm like, man, that sucks. And he's like, yeah. And he had, he didn't have a lot, but he wouldn't let me come in. I'm like, oh, you have to come out. And he didn't want to come out. And I told him, very important that you are not asthmatic when I'm putting this. And he's like, no, I'm not. And then he says like, I started opening the cabinets that he had like asthma medicine, and he had like a respirator machine in the living room. And I'm like, man, I don't know. And I had to do it because it was my job. So I didn't really know if this guy survived. I hope he did. I'm like, fuck, bro.
Damn,
you're a very risky business guy. And he's like, yeah, but that's nothing, And I'm like, I'm all ears, Rick.
Please tell me, Rick.
Right. I cannot replicate his accent, but his accent was captivated. Down the line, along the 47 minutes of conversation I had with Rick. By the way, Rick is in his working hours. Like, I don't know, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I'm like, okay, Rick, what are you going to go work? And he's like, he's just talking. And he's like, I have two other couple places to go. But I'm like, okay, well, that's very, very diligent and efficient of you as a worker. I'm sure Dialabug is delighted with your performance. But he tells me, oh man, there are much worse places. Check this out, right? And he's like, I'm gonna tell you, you never rent an apartment. He now starts giving me advice while telling me his stories. He's like, you never rent an apartment at 435 West 86th Street.
Wow, exactly.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, wait a second, that's the Upper West Side. Why? And he's like, no, man, that building is doomed. That building is fucked. And I'm like, okay, why? And he's like, I got this other guy. I got a call from the super that they have bed bugs, right? And I'm like, oh wow. And how did the super know? And he's like, they were on the hallway already. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, they were coming out of the apartment.
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm like,
bad, man.
I'm like, fuck. And he's
disgusting.
like, yeah. So I go there, and this guy doesn't want me to spray the apartment. And I'm like, what do you mean he doesn't want you to spray? He's like, yeah. You don't understand. There are people who live with bed bugs. And I'm like, what? By the way, side note, I had bed bugs once.
Not now.
Not now, like 4 years ago. I had, because I was hosting my friend Stefano, shout out il professor, and he
Your best friend.
he brought his best friends with him from fucking Bushwick in Brooklyn. He brought bedbugs to my house.
Damn, dude.
Yep, yeah. So I had to throw all the furniture
That's
out,
scary.
and then it's actually quite an annoying process. Have you
Of
ever
cour-
had?
I've never had. No.
Yeah, bro.
No, never
knock on
had.
wood.
Never
Knock
had.
on wood.
I've heard stories. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I've heard that bed bugs go they go lateral too.
Yep.
They go lateral. Yeah.
They do. So this guy had them all over, and he was like, and then this guy, man, he just didn't want me. I had to almost fight him to get into the apartment, and I had to spray there for hours. And then the bedbugs is kind of complicated because bedbugs you have to do twice the job. So first, the person has to come out. They had to do the extermination, leave it 24 hours,
Okay.
right? And then 2 weeks later, they come again. Right, so this guy is very upset that I'm in his apartment. Then, but I had to put a hazmat suit because it's so infested with the bed bugs. And I'm like, this guy's bullshitting, obviously, right? Now, at this moment, Rick starts to pull out his cell phone, right? He pulls out his cell phone, and Rick documents his shit like no other. Okay, so he starts showing me pictures. Real bad, bro. Like we're talking about the mattress is infested with bed bugs. The walls are all like, I don't have the picture because that one I didn't take. The walls they were all full of strips, like stains that are like strips, like little marks like this. So the guy, who was obviously crazy, would kill the bed bugs and do like this, like drag it down. Bed bugs feed off of blood, so they are like full with that. When they just explode, I guess, and then they release all the blood or whatever the fluids that they have inside. So the wall is full of like lines like that, in a dark red color. And he's showing me the pictures of this. So he's not like bullshit. And now I'm seeing, I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, why? And he's like, he was like cursing. He was mentally ill, whatever. And I'm like, okay. And what did you do? I was like, I had to spray I gave him the guidelines. He left, but it was, in the hallway. And then I sprayed everything. And he had a dog. And I'm like, okay. And
I feel bad for the dog.
He's like, it was like a little Yorkie, and he's like, can I have a little Yorkie? At this point, Rick is like my best friend. He's telling me his life. He's like, and blah blah blah, and then he's like, and then I finish my job, and I just leave. Okay, I'll do whatever you want. I told you cannot come in 24 hours. I told the super, and I left. He comes 2 weeks after, and he's like, the super is like, oh, that guy went right away in, and I'm like, I don't know. I told him what to do. I'm coming here to do the second round. He comes to the second round. The guy's even more upset. And he's like, oh, I had nowhere to go. Nobody paid for a hotel for me. The super cursed me out, blah, blah. The guy's like, what do you want me to do, bro? I just told you what it is. We're doing this for free. Because, by the way, in New York City, if you have bedbugs, it's mandatory that the buildings, the apartment unit owner or the actual building, they have to provide for you the extermination.
Right, of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't know this until I had those bedbugs. So he comes again. He's like, the guy hadn't cleaned anything, so the floor, everything was full of the dead bedbugs all around. He shows me pictures of this again, and he's like, and you know what the worst part was? And I'm like, what, Rick? He's like, man, I'm like, oh, so where's the dog? I thought you
don't say it.
And he's like,
don't say
well, my dog is dead.
No
and he's like,
way.
What? And he's
Don't
like, yeah, because upon the night falling, I just came back in the apartment with the dog.
No.
And he's like, I told you 24 hours for humans. For dogs, it's even more delicate, and it's a little Yorkie. And he's like, yeah, well, a few hours later, he was dead.
Oh, fuck. Sorry for all our viewers who love dogs.
Yes.
That's don't.
Guys, that's New York City, okay?
Close your ears when you hear that.
Okay, so next time when you see
God.
someone, I want to go to New York City, I can't wait to go to Times Square. I really breathe in that. That's cardboard.
I want to. I'm not gonna cut you off. I'm just saying, New York City is how do I want to say this? On the outside, it's beautiful. When you look at New York City,
Yep.
like the skyline is gorgeous.
True.
It's like the Oz. It's like the Wizard of Oz. You see that glorious city. But dude, the moment you step on these streets, fucking nasty, man.
You better be ready.
You have to be ready.
Yeah. You really don't understand that as much when you don't spend a lot of time here.
Yeah, man.
Like I see it every time I host someone. Even I've had friends. Remember I told you last time this friend was a month, so you perceive that a little. But when you spend like longer time, you realize how it can be a very tough place. This place, and it's full of. I think that's what makes it great. They say, right, that there is a lot of unbalanced people. There is a lot of, worst and best combined within a few square miles.
New York City is everything, man.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
you can step into Midtown and then you feel like you're in a different world, and then you go to the Lower East Side, and that's a whole new world by itself. You don't feel like you're in this.
100%. Yeah. Well, these are not even these two. They were the warm-up stories. Okay. Because now I'm with Rick. Now Rick and I are best buds.
Do we have any more dog dead stories? Because I don't.
No dogs. But we have a few more animal dead stories. All right. Because the worst ones come. Okay, guys, brace yourselves if you could. So here Rick is. Yeah, man, like this is crazy. And I'm like, wow, Rick, man, thank you very much for sharing this. And he's like, oh, this is nothing either. You want to hear something crazier? And I'm like, I'm dying to. Rick, I'm dying to. So he's like, okay, check this out. They call me from downtown, all right? There is a management property. They're calling me to come in. And I tried to come in, or I tried to call to schedule the appointment. They won't pick up the phone. They are like just being evasive. So I get a court order. My company does get a court order. So I can go straight up and say, listen, I'm here to do my extermination. A judge ordered this extermination. There is a big problem here happening. So let me in. He comes down. It's around John Street. We're talking Wall Street, bro. You've ever been to John Street? There's a couple of casting agencies. I know that street well. Again, heart of downtown Manhattan. Okay, very nice apartment buildings and office buildings. Yeah, all around. Nice restaurants, everything.
Yeah.
So this guy comes up to whichever floor he was going, and the super is not happy, but lets him in. He goes in. Okay, opens the door. This tall ex-police officer, retired police officer, living in there, and he's like, "What's going on?" And then he sees, upon opening the door, that the place is infested with big ass white rats, like lab rats, the white ones that have red eyes.
Red eyes, yeah.
Right. So he's like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And he's like, "Oh, we got a court order. There's been complaints. The management company wants this place to be, exterminated." He's like, "Yeah, man, it was just a mistake. Okay, these are my pets, but they started breeding." So he's first telling me the story. He's like, apparently, this crazy guy had 2 lab rats as pets, and then they started breeding like crazy. So they came out, the new generations of the rats came out of the cage and started spreading. So the apartment, according to Rick, was filled with rats. We're talking about hundreds of rats. He looked at it and he's like, I'm gonna need at least 8 hours to do this. That's how much. He had to call backup. Another guy had to come with more gallons of exterminating product. On top of that, he set up over 100 traps. You know those traps, right? And he's like, and he just went down to it. The guy is like very upset. He's like, no, you cannot do this. These are my pets. Blah blah blah.
Were they alive?
They were all alive, bro. Of course. He was telling me they have penetrated every area of the apartment. So they were inside the cabinets. They had holes on the wall because they had started like chipping away parts of the wall. He's like, it was all fucked up by the that embellishment that walls have down there, like that thing. That was all that wood was all chewed up. So they had made holes in there, like to have their galleries or whatever rats do. They were you could hear them. He's like, you could hear them from up there. Of course, the floor filled with them, right? And I'm like, fuck. And the guy is very upset. He's like, blah 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 blah, and he starts. Rick tells me, yeah, bro, and he thought I was Mexican, so he started like he had a weird accent. I thought he was Indian, like dot Indian, not feather Indian. And he's like, then he starts cursing me, and bro, he thought I was Mexican. And I'm like, how dare he? What are you? He's like, I'm Guyanese. I'm like, exotic, nice, Rick.
Guyanese.
He was from Guyana. He's like, no, man, I'm from Guyana, bro. I'm like, okay, go on. And he keeps on with the story, and he's like, I start setting all the traps. Like an hour later, he comes back. All the traps were already like doing its job. So he starts going trap after trap. The rats were this big, okay. And thankfully this time I'm like, Rick, you gotta show me. And he's like, bro, you wanna see, bro? Because he did have like a Chicano accent for some reason. You wanna see, bro? You wanna see, bro? Look at these cows. And he, with the phone he already had on his hand because of the previous story, he starts showing me shit. So he's like, oh yeah, so I start doing my thing, right? So I start like taking the rats that are there, like convulsioning. I take them and break their neck, put them in the bag. Break their neck, put them in the bag. And I'm like, nice. The guy called the police. So the police came over. The police walked into the hallway. They saw the amount of dead rats Rick was taking care of. they saw the guy. He's like, what do you want us to do? And Enrique's like, policemen, officers, I have a court order. And he kept on killing rats. And the police looked at the place, looked at the guy, and he's like, we cannot do nothing.
Yeah,
and
what are you going to do?
And left, bro. The police left.
Oh, my God, bro.
And he's like, so 6 hours later, I had 2 big trash bags
Full of rats.
filled with rats. They were like over 100 pounds, he told me.
Oh.
He needed, between him and the other guy, to carry it. He told me the guy wouldn't sleep in his bed anymore. He told me the guy would sleep in the bathtub because it was so bad all around it. He had to sleep on the bathtub.
How do these people hold? I don't.
And the guy's like cursing him, thinking that he doesn't speak English. He's like, oh, you motherfucker, I speak better English than you do. And after he finished his job, the guy's like, oh, you don't kill them all. He's like, no, he's like, and I know by court order, he can keep 2. And I see how he grabs 6 of the rats and puts them in the cage again. And I'm like, whoa, really? And he's like, you know what, whatever, I'm going to let him do it. And then as he's bringing all the shit out with the rats, he's like, okay, so you have to sign the court. And he's like, fuck you. He starts cursing him again. And he's like,
Ooh.
okay. And he's like, oh, 1 second, can I use the bathroom? And he's like, fuck you. He's like, I'm going to use the bathroom. So as he walks in, he opens the cage, grabs 1 rat, breaks the neck, another rat goes in it, he kills 4 rats, and he's like, fuck yourself, go fuck yourself.
It's like a movie script, man.
It's crazy.
It's
Crazy. And
totally insane.
all this in my apartment. I'm like this, bro. Like I want to eat popcorn. I just wanna listen to Rick all day long. Oh, bro, I'm gonna tell you more stories, but I have 2 places more to go. I'm like, okay, it's okay. He's like, but I want to tell you one more story. All right, that one ends.
We have more.
Like that, and we have a last one. This guy went back into his apartment with his 2 rats, and who knows? He's like, probably I'll come in some months. They'll call me again because this guy, of course, has serious mental problems, so he's gonna have more rats. So you said you have one more story, Rick, and he's like, check this out. You know the Bronx, right? You know the River Park Towers? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Have you ever seen the River Park Towers?
No,
when you go in the FDR, when you go in the FDR,
right.
if you take the FDR all the way to the end,
okay,
on the East Rivers or Harlem Rivers Bronx side, there are like 2 big ass towers that are like hundreds of apartments. Right. They're actually quite nice. They're not projects. They are just nice.
Right.
So did I tell you when I lived in a project?
You never told me.
Okay, we have to talk about the half a year I lived in a project. But anyway, that's another story. This guy's like, so I do in this building, I do more of a regular maintenance extermination. So I'm there like a few days a week for a full day. And I'm like, okay. So he tells me, the super calls me. Okay, there's this guy who has a serious problem. Something's coming out of his apartment.
This is a different guy with the white.
This is the superintendent of the River Park Tower building.
All right. Okay.
And Rick, this is always Rick is the one who's facing this. Rick
is like the top exterminator in the city, apparently, dude.
He told me this is very normal amongst exterminators.
That's crazy,
He's just one guy.
Oh, God, that's so nasty.
Okay, and this is his stories. Again, he's showing me footage and images.
He's giving you evidence.
He's giving me clear evidence, visual and audio-visual evidence of it. So he tells me, okay, what's going on? He's like, there are the super of the building. There are flies all over. I don't know what's going on. He's like, okay. He's okay. I'm gonna go up. He goes upstairs to the 57th floor, some crazy up floor like that. He bangs the door. Finally, this weird guy opens. The moment he opens the door, a cloud of flies come out of the apartment. He's like, what the fuck is happening here? And he checks everything out, and it was the nastiest apartment you could ever see. A guy who was a hoarder, but also he starts telling me, so the sink, the toilet pool, everything that had water was fucked up. Therefore, everything was filled to the brim with dirty water. As a consequence, thousands of flies started growing all around and laying eggs and everything.
Jesus Christ!
He's telling me, as I'm walking inside the apartment, dribbling the shit, the trash that's all around, I'm crushing maggots. He did this sound.
And he gave you effects.
And I'm like, this got me real. Rick, come on, man. Come on. You cannot be real, bro. He's like calling me bro now. You cannot be real, bro. Check this out. Brings out the phone and pulls up a video. He airdropped me at the end of the story, so I have it. I'm gonna play for our audience.
Oh, please, no,
Okay,
man.
it's very
no.
sensitive. Let's say it. Let's say that it's a sensitive thing, so
yeah,
they can.
It's sensitive. You don't.
They can skip it a minute and 34 seconds, I believe.
It's
We're not playing it
sensitive.
in.
If you don't want to watch it, just listen to us on Spotify. You don't
That's
have to.
true.
Oh.
Or
iTunes. Sorry.
That being said, though, this guy could be bullshitting, right? Or
Right, he could. Right.
Yeah,
you could be bullshitting. You're right. Okay.
And you know I don't bullshit.
Yeah. Sometimes you
Sometimes
do.
I
Sometimes
do.
you do.
For the most part, I try not to.
For the most part, you do.
And
That's
he
nasty, man.
plays that video here, and I couldn't believe what was in front of my eyes.
Oh,
I had to
God.
airdrop it. I asked him, "Oh, wait a second." I brought my computer, and then he started like, "Okay, let's airdrop it." He's like, "I don't know, I don't know none of our cell phones." And he's like, so I actually got the video of what he was telling me. So he goes in, and he's like, "I don't know what I'm gonna do. This is gonna take me gallons of extermination product of poison to kill all these insects." And he just went down to it. And this one he was able to follow up. So he's like, "Oh man, and after I finish all the job and everything, we get him out, and finally the police came eventually and they get him out." He told me that after seeing this, and he showed video to his bosses and to the super, and eventually they got a court order and they kicked that guy out of the apartment. But that apartment is ruined. He's like, "I don't know how they are gonna they have to do serious repairs on that apartment."
Serious demolition on that.
Yeah. Well, the one on John Street, they had to demolish it because he told me the walls
You have
were.
to clean you have to clear everything out.
But it's
dude.
the walls. He says there are like galleries of the fucking rats because there were so many rats.
Oh my God.
So that was my Monday, and I'm gonna
Jesus.
yeah. I mean,
It's so crazy, man. I see the show Hoarders on TLC.
okay.
Oh God! I mean, they show some like horrible houses, like garbage filled to the brim of the ceiling. Dude, people are still living.
Yeah.
Rats, maggots, cockroaches, and I was like, "There's no way people will live like that, dude. There's no way. This has to be for show."
Damn.
Dude, thank you to Rick for proving.
Yeah, I wish I could tell you that's for the show.
Oh God!
This, at least in New York City, these people exists.
It's disgusting, dude.
Yep, and that was my story for the pod today. I'm like, this is perfect. You remember what I was telling you, man? I don't know what we're gonna talk about. Boom, life. Life gives you what you need.
What you need.
When you need it.
Thank you, Rick, for the lovely story.
And he told me he's gonna go. He's like, well, I've been here for an hour, so I have to go. But I'll tell you more.
Did he do his job while he was here? By the way.
He did it the first 30 seconds. He walked in like this was his apartment. Hey, how you doing? And then on his way out was when he started like spitting out stories. Gold.
Wow. Dude.
Yep.
I have one, not rat story.
Okay.
Mice. You find little mice in your apartment?
Yep. I did once. Yeah.
You found one, right?
Yep.
So this was like years ago. In my house, I hear a little sound, and my parents think I'm like a psychopath. They're like, "Oh, Yanni, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. It's just a little sound." I was like, "No, I'm pretty sure it's a mouse." Like I've experienced with this before. So that night we found a mouse, killed the mouse. We put like a little mouse trap, the glue traps.
Yep.
Next morning it was dead. I go to work, come back. My brother's like, "Yanni, did you say you killed the mouse?" I was like, "Yeah, we killed it this morning." It's like, I don't know, man. I found another one. I'm like, all right, that's fucking. That's weird.
Yeah.
Something's off.
Mm-mm.
And whatever, my apartment's clean. My parents, whatever. Obviously. Week goes on, we see another one. So now we're like, okay, now we're gonna put all these glue traps all around. I go to work, Yanni, another one. I was like, okay, this is getting out of control, dude. So we caught maybe I want to say between 5 to 7 little mice. And as I pull the corner of my bed, look, a little hole.
No way.
Dude. Yeah. So that was like our assumption that they were just squeaking through this little hole and just running around my apartment. But we kept on killing them because of the glue traps.
Yep.
And then when your floorboards are separated by the wall, it's very easy for them to squeak through and get by in the apartment.
Yeah.
And when it gets in the wintertime, when it gets cold, all the mice and all the rats come inside because they're looking for shelter, obviously.
Yep.
Luckily, we patched it up with Brillo and caulk. I think it's caulk or caulk. I think it's caulk.
That sounds
It's not cock, you idiot. No, it's
Okay.
like it's gawk. I think it's gawk.
But what is it? What are you trying
It's
to
like a little.
describe?
It's like a paste or something.
Yeah. It solidifies.
It's like
right?
it solidifies.
And it blocks
yeah,
things
it
off.
blocks things off.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, we call it like at least 5 to 7. I want to say. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Wait, so once you covered the
I
hole?
covered the hole, the floor, nothing.
Oh, so it was that then.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Because you know what I mean? Because what if there were more holes?
Because my building's old too. My building's prehistoric. It's like really historic. Most of these buildings are.
Yeah. They
1900s, you know.
Mine is 1927.
1927.
Yeah. I
I'm pretty
looked it up.
sure it's like mine is around the same age. Around the same age.
Yeah. Do they call yours a pre-war building?
I'm pretty sure. I think they do.
Okay, because
yeah.
if they call it, it's definitely before.
It's definitely
pre-war
before.
means, like, I did some research back in the day when I was moving into my apartment, and is any building
Right.
built before World War II, before the end of World War II, apparently, 1945, is considered pre-war.
And
building.
if you see like cockroaches and like mice around your apartment, and you're pretty clean yourself, it's not. It's probably someone that just moved into your apartment,
Yeah.
and that shit can get through to yours.
Oh, I see dead cockroaches from time to time
Ooh.
in my hallway. Sometimes in corners in my apartment. It's New York City.
I hate cockroaches, man.
You do?
I can't stand them. I hate
Yeah.
bugs. I just hate every kind of bug. I don't like anything.
And I apologize about my story.
Flies. Daughter, forget about it. It's over now. One time,
Yep.
I have another story. This is my first restaurant job.
Gotcha.
I worked at Dean's. Not there anymore. Dean's Pizzeria.
Oh, okay.
I worked at the small. Like, it was like I was a bartender. It was like a service bar. It was like a small little bar.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Friday afternoon,
Yep.
and it's in Tribeca. This place will only get busy in the afternoon because of the office building around it. They had one city office building, and that was like our rush. That was like our best time to make money, or the only time to make money in Friday afternoon. This place is packed. I'm working in the service bar, whatever. And then Natasha's like, John, I think there's a mouse here. And I'm like, on the floor, like right now?
Oh.
She goes, yeah. I'm like, let's hope not, whatever. So this place is pretty big. As you would walk in, bar would be on your left,
Yep.
and it had like high ceilings, and they had booths, like they had like benches all over the wall, all over the wall.
Yep.
So, dude, it was like a fucking cartoon. The mouse would go from table to table.
Yep.
And all the customers noticed it. So all the customers get up. So as I'm sitting at the bar and I see one person get up, one person get up, one person get up, one person get up, one person. The mouse is running all over the dining room, dude. Fucking rush hour,
No
fucking lunch.
way.
Swear to God, man. I think most of the servers went inside the kitchen, and like they had to tell my boss at the time. Obviously.
No.
So my boss calls me directly to the bar. He's like, Yanni, what's going on? I was like, dude, Nick, there's a mouse, bro. Like, he's like, fucking. He's like, I can't even come up right now, man. He's like, I can't even come up. This is so embarrassing. Dude, that place emptied out like no one's business.
What happened to the people, the customers?
The customers all left, bro. They're like, I'm not paying for my meal. This is ridiculous. I have a mouse fucking running around. But it was like a cartoon, dude. It was like everyone's getting up. I was like, oh my God. It was like a domino effect. Oh my God, man.
So funny.
That, dude. Because some people need to know, like in a restaurant, it doesn't mean that the restaurant's disgusting or dirty. It just, when it gets colder out, mice and rats, they look for shelter to get warm. So obviously, a lot of restaurants, they have a basement, they have food down there where it's easy accessible for mice and rats to get in.
Yep.
But dude, that was a day and a half, man. That was a day.
Did you guys get any Yelp reviews on this topic?
I don't remember, but that's not the reason why they closed. But
okay, because I was gonna say,
but
what
no.
happened? Like, you
No,
assumed
it was just a bad, shitty business day to make money. Like we didn't make any money, obviously.
Yeah, but the word didn't spread out. Like,
I don't
lost
think so.
business,
I
you
think we lost business, but like I said, a lot of that place would get busy during lunch because of people that worked in the building who were like regulars that would come to the restaurant. So they understood. They get it. It's New York City. It's New York City, dude.
Yeah.
It's not like
a nice clean place.
A nice, the cleanest place on
Modern.
earth. It's fucking nasty sometimes.
All right.
But
If you want clean and shiny, go to the mall.
it's New York City, man. Listen.
Yeah.
Shit's gonna happen. I mean, if you find a cockroach in your food, then obviously that place is disgusting. Don't go there. But the occasional mouse, whatever. I don't know.
It all depends on who you are.
It all depends on who you are. I mean, yeah.
How much will you want to dare?
Yeah, how much, take a look at the menu. Yeah, take a look at the grade. Yeah, of course,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's
Important.
true.
For people who don't know, New York City establishments have a letter.
A letter grade.
grading.
Yeah. If you see a B, be cautious about the place.
Kind of like when there's a B. It's like I like to take my chances. There is a C though. Have you ever seen a D? Is there a D? I don't really know.
I don't think there's a D. No, I've seen a C. I have never seen.
I have seen a C.
You've seen a C?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. I wasn't hungry, so but yeah.
But also, people that know these letter grades are not like these people that work for the Department of Health. They look for things. They're not like they do this on purpose. Like they have a quota. Like, I think one of them is like they swipe the ice machine like 3 times, but they'll do that extra swipe, and if they find something little,
speck,
like a speck, 15 points, 20 points. Yeah. So
what you're saying is that there is a scam going on. Like,
of course,
people are being shaken down.
100%. Yeah, of course, man.
So law-abiding business owners, entrepreneurs are being shaken down by the city, by the health department.
If for a place to get a B or a C, you really have to be disgustingly nasty. You have to be really gross.
Right, because they have this grade pending in between step, right? So if they find several things wrong, they'll give you the grade pending and you pay, and then they come again. They schedule another visit.
I don't know, like, don't quote me on this, but like I think they come the first time. If they see something wrong, they give you a second chance.
Oh.
And the second chance, if you don't do good, then you have a grade pending. And if the grade is pending, then it's go to court or something like that. Then the owners have to go to court and fight their case, blah, 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 this and that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, back in the day, I've heard stories of, like, the owners paying the Department of Health people, like, cash, low-key, so they can give them the letter grade. So,
yeah.
Because that letter grade is a big deal, as we were just saying, like,
because it must be displayed at the front door, so everyone can see it.
It has to be displayed. It has to be displayed.
Yep. So people can easily see if you've gotten a bad grade.
And also, like, they give out different set of rules every time. Like, one inspector would come, be like, "Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that." But then next week, another inspector would come, he'd be like, "Oh, yeah, you have to do this, you have to do this." So it's kind of like flip flopping,
For real?
Yeah.
I thought they were very strict in the guidelines that you have to.
But like you said, it's like it depends on who you get. It just depends on who you get. If you have a nice person, or they probably won't be
more lenient.
Yeah, it won't.
But at the same time, they have quotas, as you said.
They have quotas, man.
It's unavoidable that sometimes you'll have to bite the bullet because they're gonna come ready. They and they need to finish the month up high. So
bad, man.
You're gonna be fucked.
Yeah, so stressful, man. Especially working at the restaurant.
If you're a managero, it's stressful.
But even as a server too, yeah. Because have you been on a date at the Department of Health? Been there?
Yes.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, I have.
Really?
Yeah, I have. The worst part to me was that you make less money because they have to shut everything down.
That's what I'm saying.
And you have to give people the option of waiting or just leaving without paying.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever the course they're at.
Yeah.
So sometimes they're waiting for their second course. So they'll have their meal for free because the second course is coming out not anytime soon, and then they'll give you no tip or whatever because of
you lose your money.
Yeah. So that's the main thing. The prep. You're talking about the prep, maybe? Cause
maybe. Yeah. You got the new iPhone.
Yes, I did. I did get the iPhone 12, and you want my honest review?
Please.
Okay. Fuck Apple. Wow. That's my honest review. Check this out, my broso. I'm paying top dollar for an iPhone 12 Pro, which is supposed to be the cream of the crop, the top of the line, and the highest end phone that's out there, and that's why you have to pay for them. Here's first of all, I have a theory about Apple. The Apple, when you do your research to get the best phone possible, there are certain variables you cannot skip in order for you to get a good deal. You must determine first if you want the best phone money can buy. So it doesn't matter how expensive it is, you just want the best phone. Or different side of the theory, if you want the best quality price phone. In other words, if you want to get the most bang for your buck.
Right.
All right. If you go for the first rationale, then you will have to go for the iPhone. The iPhone is the best phone money can buy. The best iPhone, obviously. You get the 12 Pro or 12 Pro Max now. However, quality price, an iPhone is not as good. Why? Because you can find a phone that is almost on every aspect as good as the iPhone. It'll have a few characteristics that might be even better than the iPhone, a few that'll be worse than the iPhone. However, the price will be $700, $800, $900. Therefore, you are paying double the price for an iPhone, because the iPhone 12 Pro Max is gonna be $1,300. If you get the basics, if you wanna do enhanced storage, it'll go up to 15, 17, whatever. So you're paying almost double for a phone, an iPhone, but you're not getting a phone that's double as good as the one that costs $800, $700, $900.
You're paying for a brand name. That's what.
So you're paying for a few things. You're paying for the name, 100%. You are paying for the show-offy value. I have an iPhone. Look, there is an Apple button in the back of my phone. All right, the people love that.
Oh, okay.
You feel people?
Right, okay,
people, why do people have cases all the time that have cut out a hole where the Apple is so they can show off?
You think?
What's the other reason?
Oh,
better protection?
Maybe.
Having a hole cut off on the protective gear? Bro, let's be serious here. You pay for that. You also pay for, in parallel, and this I gotta give it to them, because I was 2 hours in the phone with geniuses a couple of days ago. You pay for the customer care.
Yeah, you pay for,
you know, for the customer service, for the service. Yeah, I'm talking Apple Care. Apple Care, you pay. I'm saying on the regular price. Apple Care is an add-on. I'm saying as in the full price with no add-ons. You pay for customer service, top notch and parallel, great. You also pay for having a physical location, which is pretty big for a lot of people, myself included, because I don't do a lot of online shopping. And I like to go, just fidget a little bit with the product before I buy it, and then having the safety net of I don't like it. Come down to the store.
Return it, right.
There you go. I return it, give him my money back. No questions asked, whatever. And they do have that. If you buy a OnePlus or a Poco phone,
What's a Poco phone?
it's like a very low budget kind
Like a
of
Nokia phone?
Eh?
Like a
No.
Nokia?
This is like a low budget phone, like Chinese made $300 smartphone.
Right.
Allegedly has specs that overcome, surpass the iPhone in
Of
every
course.
aspect. But then it's a piece of shit because it's $300. It's made like all plastic and shitty materials or whatever. But it's for $300, it's a very good phone because it's a smartphone.
It does its
has
job.
a nice
It does its job. If it does its job,
yeah.
then it's a good phone.
Poco phones. There are a bunch of these. Oppo is another one, but those ones are a little more expensive. There are a bunch of Chinese-made brands that are trying. They call them flagship killers sometimes because they're flagship phones, like an iPhone, like a Samsung Galaxy, phones that are well-known, established models or series of models that people know. If I buy this phone, I know I'm gonna get a good machine, a good product. But with iPhones, you are paying for all those things. So even though the device in itself may have a given quality, the extra money comes from those things, I believe.
No.
And there are perks also. AirDrop is excellent.
Well,
there are little things. Having the suit, the Mac.
A lot of people, like I've always had this argument with some like debates about which one's better, Samsung or Apple.
Yep.
I think Apple is right now at this point. It's just more simple phone for most people. Like I've had an iPhone for I can't even tell you, I don't know, fucking 10 years now.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna switch because I'm just used to the iPhone.
Yep.
I'm just used to having that just simple.
The user experience.
The user experience. What I'm gonna say. Now the way I handle my phones, that's a different story. Because as everyone knows, that I break my phone constantly. Not my fault. These are just things.
Debatable.
Now, as you guys can see, I have a case, which is pretty good. But sometimes I hate holding the case. So I like taking out the case, holding the...
Walk me through this.
Why?
So you wake up and then your phone has the case. Okay? You take off the case, you use it, then you put back on the case. You have breakfast, you take off the case, go for a walk.
Sometimes, but sometimes the case will be bulky, it'll be annoying to hold. So I just have the phone.
Yeah, but if the case is bulky, it's always bulky.
Right.
What situations isn't the actual case bulky, bro?
None. Okay, so in the past, I'd be ridiculed of how I handle my iPhones, and at this point, I've gave Apple roughly over $3,000 worth of phones.
Nice.
So, but now I've had a case. I've had this one for like a year now, so let's knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
It's been good. One time, I got a case, and I had the screen protector, and to my fucking luck, the way it fell, it just cracked the edge of the screen, and all the screen was cracked.
That millimeter, like half a millimeter.
I swear I was.
Free from protection is where the hit happened?
I haven't cracked my whole fucking screen. One time I've cracked the back screen, bro. The glass, which is even hard to replace.
Oh, damn.
And I had a case on there. I had like a cheap little silicone Apple case.
What happened? A truck ran it over?
Bro, I don't know. I just dropped. Sometimes, That's also another case that people don't like. That people have. That's a debate. That iPhones are really fragile, which they are.
Well, allegedly.
I cannot deny this.
Allegedly, sorry for interrupting you, but going back to my point on my Apple phone 12 review Pro, a completely disjointed sentence right there. Going back to the review on the iPhone 12 Pro, is supposed to be made of this ultra resistant military graded crystal. So it has like shield protection, whatever. That's 4 times more resistant than the previous iPhone.
All these new iPhones come with, on the front, something new called ceramic shield. And this is basically this specialty hardened kind of glass with crystal structure inside it. And it's on the front of these phones over the screen. And it's supposed to offer 4 times better drop protection.
I like yes, that's what it is.
It's probably Malkias. So, first of all, we will start off not so good because you are going to have to pay more money for the device. That's great, but you're not getting the best bang for your buck. Second thing that infuriated me right there and there. No, when I got home, but I write it in there. Because first of all, I went to the Apple store. I had to go all the way to Williamsburg to grab it because I wanted like a specific specs on the phone, and they only had it available in the Williamsburg store. Otherwise, I had to wait for 3 weeks until they shipped the phone. So I go to Williamsburg. Okay, there's a line. I went for another line. They opened the back metal door. A lady came out, tossed the phone to me, and she's like, "Oh, that's it," and walked right in. I'm like,
"Well, you paid for the phone, right?"
Well, I did pay for the phone in advance, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't even get into the store or check out the phone because they had appointment only availability, and then there was no appointments available, and I had to buy something else. And I couldn't buy it because I couldn't get in the store. All this happened on the street, but it's coronavirus time, so that's okay. Now, I get home. And I do my little unboxing, okay? I open it. This over $1,000 phone comes with the phone and a wire and a cable. Not even a fucking brick for an over $1,000.
Not even for the charger.
It doesn't have a... Well, I rant. Wow. I do an unboxing video trashing them to a friend of mine who's an Apple lover.
That's bullshit.
I go online and apparently...
That's
bullshit, but next level bullshit. Apparently, they are doing this to help the environment. Check this out. According to Apple, having a bulkier, because the truth is like the box is real thin, right? Because it has only it doesn't have it has only the freaking phone, a sticker, and a cable. So of course it's much easier to pack in a small box.
Right.
According to Apple, they are doing this to help the environment because having thinner boxes allows them to pack more from China, where they make them in China. And they help the environment because it's less, shipping production waste or whatever. Less, gas on the ships that bring the iPhones to the America. I don't fucking know, but apparently it's an ecology decision.
It's bullshit. It's just another way for people to fucking order bricks and get chargers.
A brick, by the way, which has is lighting whatever, like the thing that only iPhone has, the jack, the thing to put to charge the iPhone. That's to the iPhone is that thing. So to one side is that thing, and on the other side is mini USB like this, like a female like this. Yeah. So then who the fuck has a phone charger brick that has this thing? Because everyone, at least all the ones I have, are regular USB.
They're regular USB.
Therefore, now I have to charge the freaking phone through either the computer or using the computer charger, which is a fairly new computer, so it has that kind of big ass brick like that one to charge the phone.
Crazy.
Yeah, I was using the other day the phone to record some stuff, and I didn't have a charger for it, so I thought it was gonna last because the battery has 17 hours or whatever.
Did the phone die or
the phone died on me because of lack of battery, and my video was not recording. Main caveat about the fucking iPhone.
So
makes great videos, but if you're recording and then the phone shuts down, there is no save copy in it until the moment it shut down. So I lost hours.
Are you returning your Apple iPhone and getting a Samsung?
I'm pretty torn over here. I wanted to get a OnePlus 8 Pro, which I have a OnePlus. I had a OnePlus before buying this iPhone, and this is the second OnePlus that I have. It's a great brand. They have great flagship killers, great smartphones that have good quality at a very, very competitive price. But the camera is not quite there. We've talked about this. We use sometimes your phone to make videos, and we've compared.
We do, yeah.
We've compared your phone with my
great,
camera,
man.
with my phone's camera. On the specs, it's supposed to be similar, if not better, mine. But then yours, I think Apple also has a major advantage that I didn't mention, which is the software development. Mm-hmm. When you take video, apparently, like the compression ratio and how the actual machine, the phone, process the video is intaken is very important. That's why we get better video, smaller in size, with your phone than with my OnePlus phone. Right? Because it's better quality, is lighter in gigabyte weight.
Yeah.
And your phone is older than my phone, because my phone is supposed to be better. But it's just Apple, like the iOS makes it just.
That's why I was very more. I've always got like the new iPhone every time I was due for an upgrade. But I think I'm just stick with this one. This one's going. But knowing my luck, I'm gonna fucking break it in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So. Oh, the 12 Pro or the iPhone 12, all the 12s. I don't know if the Mini does, because now they did iPhone 12 Mini, iPhone 12 Plain, iPhone 12 Pro, and iPhone 12 Pro Max.
So they have four iPhones.
You have 4 iPhones, new iPhones, and then you have the rest. Yeah. Yours is still available. The iPhone 11, the regular is available, but the 11 Pro is not available. Like this weird shit Apple does with the availability of past.
Just for people to spend more money, man. It's out of control.
They allegedly want to hit every demographic of buyers, right? Yeah. They want the mini. That mini one is like $400, but then it has worse battery life, worse camera, not as many.
How many utilities. Is it? Like, it's like the size of my phone. It's smaller.
Which one? The 12 Pro?
The Mini.
The Mini. It's smaller than yours and than mine. It's like yes. Do you remember the old iPods?
Yeah.
The iPod Touch.
iPod Touch.
Really? Yeah, I still have one to listen to music. It's like similar to that. It looks like I couldn't get into the stores. I couldn't check them out live.
Right.
My point is, I don't know if I'm gonna return it, because I made an investment thinking that it was gonna be a great, long-lasting machine.
Well, hopefully you kept the receipt, right?
Bro, the email to you. It's 2020. What are you talking about? This is not zigzag.
I like paper receipts.
I do too.
Which, by the way, I made a refund with a receipt at Home Depot. So,
congratulations.
Thank you.
But yeah, that's my review on the iPhone 12. I'll keep you posted, guys.
Let us know. Yeah, let me know.
The audience, how is if I don't return it, because now I
might just give it to me. I'll give you my iPhone. Good quality. Give me that iPhone.
That sounds very reasonable,
it's
right?
Reasonable,
I take a 3-year-old banged up iPhone from
it's
you.
It's not banged up. It's not banged up.
And I give you.
It's not banged up.
I give you a brand new, top of the line, cream of the crop, newly released iPhone 12 Pro.
To prove
sounds like a great deal.
To get my point, yeah. I had it. I got when this one came out. Right. I had one. I broke that one.
You broke it as in on purpose?
No. It broke. It broke. Then I have this new one with fully case, right? Screen protector, so it's perfectly fine. So, but if you don't like that phone, just give it to me. I'm your friend. What? You can't give me your phone?
I don't want to do it on camera, not to look more stupid that I am looking already listening to this shit. But sure, we'll do it after we are done here. Anyway, I've talked a lot.
Yeah. You see, have I interrupted it today?
You've done great today.
I've done great.
You've done fucking great on the interruptions. He's working, guys. Let's
tell
the audience.
I'm working on it.
Your passion for interruption.
I'm not passionate for interruption. I'm passionate because I don't want to lose my talking point.
I'll bring you, one of those yellow notepads, bro. A little jotting down.
No.
Well, yeah. Anyway, Giannis, anything you would like to add to this wonderful episode? Or how are you feeling? How are you breathing?
Clean your fucking apartments. Don't have rat infant station.
Remember 435 West 86th Street.
Do not go there. Don't move there.
Don't move there. Rick's worried.
If you want to exterminate, Tito has Rick.
Yeah, I got a hookup.
Pickle Rick.
Guys. Yep. Dial a buck. /Rick.
/Rick.
I just made that up. No, don't do that.
Don't get the iPhone 12.
Yeah, guys, don't get the iPhone. Although I may keep it. I don't know. We'll see. But don't get it. That no break bullshit. I just cannot get past that.
You can't get past that.
Yeah. That is if that's not a shitty move, what is? Me brozo? Because a break now costs $40-$50.
No way, man.
At least $30. Let's see how much is it.
Oh God.
For the heck of it. For the heck of
Fucking
it.
bullshit. Man.
Okay, apple.com. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, so the power adapter is $20.
$20.
Yep.
Jeez.
I mean, it's not super expensive, but still, Oh, they were also saying that people may want to do a wireless charging, so they should just buy a wireless charger.
The wireless pads.
Yeah, MagSafe Duo charger. A Duo charger, which I'm assuming charges 2 phones. That's only $129. So why wouldn't you buy it? Let's see. What's the flat one? Lighting dock. Is this? No, this you have to plug it in, right? Yeah. So what it's there is one here for $99. One for $139.
For the charger?
Yeah, the cheapest one, which is a Mophie dual wireless charging pad, that's $70. And yeah, so that's the cheapest, $70 and up.
Fuck that.
Yeah, for wireless charging. Wireless charging sounds nice.
Next podcast, we'll do top 5 mafia movies.
Wow. So we're gonna let's ask our audience. All right. I don't know if anyone is gonna reply, but guys, we've been approached about doing ranks, top X, whatever. How do you guys feel? Would you like us to do some top 5 mafia movies? Top 11, top starting 11
Top
in
11 soccer players.
Top 5 soccer stars of all time.
Soccer stars of all time.
There's a lot of ranks that we can
Top
make.
5 comedians.
Top 5 fucking comedians.
Top 5
for
actors.
Sure. Top 5 actors. That's true. Directors.
Directors, you got me there. I don't know.
What about rappers?
Rappers, top 5. But you don't listen to rap.
I don't listen to rap. I don't want to do. I can give you top 5. Reggaetoneros. I can do that.
I don't know what that is.
Doesn't matter really. But so yeah, guys, let us know if you wanna have us rank up some stuff, some genre of entertainment, and we'll sure do it. Johannes,
I think that's time.
it's time. But do you wanna do the honors of the subscribe farewell?
Well, guys, as always, thank you for listening to Tito and the Greek. Follow us on Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, Facebook, Twitter,
And
Instagram. And
Yeah.
we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Follow and listen to us.
Yes, please. Any comments are always welcome.
Any comments, whatever you guys want.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's a
We're
free
here.
country. Do whatever you want. And we thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Fuck yeah.
And no TikTok, remember.
Oh my Greek. I know. Anyway, my brozo, it is always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Don't miss me too much. I sure will miss you very
I'm
much.
I'm probably not gonna miss you. It's okay. Goodbye. Thank you.